Hey guys, welcome back to Watch Trading Academy. We have a pretty good video for you today. We're going to be talking about the 5 things you need to be doing if you want to be successful trading watches in 2024. Now, if you're brand new to watch trading and this is your first time on the channel, you can actually click the link in the description and literally learn how to trade watches for free just by looking at a free training, or if you want to join our incredible community of over 20,000 incredible watch traders, you can also do that in the link below. But if you are not new to the channel and you've been following, you're probably wondering, what traits do I need, or how can I be successful trading watches generally speaking? So today I'm going to cover the 5 basic traits that any person needs to pay attention to and understand if they're going to be a watch trader, especially in 2024. Let's go to my board and let's get this video started. All right, so let's get into our 5 things you simply can't ignore. The first one, if you're going to be trading watches, you just have to have, there's no way around it, a social presence. That's right. If you've ever considered getting into watch trading and don't have a social presence, don't like social media, don't want to actually be out there in the world and known, do not get started in this trade. Here's why it's very important. You see, a social media presence is not just about creating a fake profile and being very affluent and rich and driving cars, etc. It has nothing to do with that. A lot of watch traders, especially when they don't own stores, are faced with this idea that they have to sell expensive watches anywhere from $1,000 to $100,000 and are doing that on trust, which means that people have to trust you to wire you money. And so as a result of that, with all the scams in the world, it's one of the most important concepts of basically being transparent and being known is actually having a social presence, which is very, very important. Meaning, are you able to find the individual on LinkedIn, on Facebook, on Instagram? Are you able to clearly get a grasp into the person's life? Are they real? Do they have real children? Do they play tennis? Whatever it is, does it make you a real person? Do you have the social presence? It does not involve being fake on social media. As a matter of fact, being more authentic takes you further and faster and is even more highly recommended. The second thing we're looking at, salesmanship. This is something that a lot of people don't understand, that you can either earn or get through watch trading or really prepare for. There is no harder truth in the world that everything is about sales, meaning everything comes down to selling yourself, it comes down to selling your product, it comes down to selling your image. It's about salesmanship. So it's so important, so important to actually understand that salesmanship matters. If you have a background in sales, if you're comfortable selling on the phone, if you're comfortable selling on email, on DMs, this is going to come in very handy and make you even more effective as it comes to selling watches. If you're not, there's hundreds of books you can read. You can even read Chris, the other guy from the FBI, like his book called Never Split the Difference. I think it was Chris Voss. So he has a really good book on negotiating, but salesmanship is a big piece of what makes successful watch traders. And so if you've done real estate before, if you've done car sales, if you've done any level of selling, regardless that it's on the phone or in person or on Instagram, you will have a better opportunity to become a better salesperson, ultimately selling watches and getting a faster head start as it pertains to this. All right, 3, restraint with money. This is something that a lot of new watch traders don't seem to understand. They come into a world where money flies quickly, right? 100K wires, 50K wires, 20K wires, and you may not be used to seeing this kind of money. So if you're in a position where you're always been the type to get very excited about seeing a lot of money, you got to be very careful coming into this industry, because this is an industry that can change you. You may have seen recently some watch traders literally go to jail as a result of overspending, putting themselves into debt, and not being able to pay back people that they had borrowed watches to sell or consign watches with. As a result, putting themselves in debt and ultimately putting themselves in jail. Very important to understand that you need to show restraint with money and consider money literally a tool of leverage to purchase the things you need to, and basically be very good at your word as it pertains to money. Saying things like, I'm going to wire you money tomorrow, being able to refund someone if necessary. These are things that you have to be able to show with money. So being calculated in your money skills is yet another important aspect of being a watch trader. All right, 4, being true to your word. This, I cannot stress with you, is probably the most important of the 5. If you're the type of person that talks a lot and delivers very little, be very careful in this industry, as it can bite you in the ass and hurt you a lot. Watch trading is about being honorable and, more importantly, holds very high standards as it pertains to your word. Imagine in a world where you're sending someone $100,000 hoping they send you a watch. What prevents them from running away with that money? What prevents them from pretending they have a watch and scamming you? This is the difference between very effective watch traders and not. They can differentiate who is a man of their word and who is not through reference checks, right? And so your word is your bond, and this industry is so pushy on that fact that you cannot understand that most people will literally destroy their entire career as watch traders by just lying or miscalculating their words just one time. That is why it is one of these things that if you're not a person that can hold true to your word, don't get in the industry. All right, and finally, number 5, love of watches. This is something that has enabled people to be much better at this trade than others, right? Individuals who actually appreciate and enjoy watches. If you're the type of person that believes a watch is useless or stupid, you're probably going to be unlikely the person that sells others on this idea of buying a watch from you. One of the most important concepts in watch trading is actually enjoying and loving the product and understanding it. And so a lot of times if you don't, you're probably going to find yourself in a position where, hey, it really sucks, but you're not going to do well at this. Listen, it's very true that some of you right now may have zero knowledge. Some of my top students started with zero knowledge of watches. They still appreciated them, but they didn't know much about the difference between Rolex, or Breitling, and Omega, RM. They didn't understand these things at all. They may not even have understood what the different models were, but they had a genuine appreciation for a beautiful watch. And as a result, that took them down the rabbit hole enough to get constructive towards how they learned about these models as they went on and made money with Watch Trading Academy. So loving watches, regardless of your knowledge base of watches today, is probably another very important aspect of finding success in this trade, especially in 24 with so many more people getting into the industry now that watches have gone mainstream. So I cannot recommend that enough. And remember, even if you don't know anything about watches, you can click the description and again, watch our free training to understand how much do you actually need to know, how much can you learn, where can you learn, and so on and so forth. That's going to be in the free training in the link below. All right, so today we've learned about the 5 things that are going to make you a more effective watch trader in 2024, or ultimately 5 things you need to have to be successful watch trading, period. Now remember, I've started this trade over 20 years ago, back in the early 2000s, and today I'm in a very different position than most people would be in their life. And I can tell you that a big part of the portfolio of my investments and the portfolio of my businesses come from a world of watches. There's a lot of money to be made, but you have to know what you're doing, which is why we train you at Watch Trading Academy and have trained over 20,000 people doing this. So this holiday, if anything, give yourself the gift of knowledge. And again, click the link below and join us at Watch Trading Academy. We are waiting for you to teach you this incredible trade. And if I don't talk to you till then, happy holidays. And again, don't forget to like, subscribe, turn on notifications, and I'll catch you next time for Watch Trading Academy.
People go like, who would spend 50 grand for a watch? $50,000 watches are in the mail every day. Like,
I never got into buying watches because I never had the awareness. I just assumed that a used watch was just a dangerous play.
I had no clue about watches before I started.
But then I started seeing a Watch Trading Academy and I went, that's awesome. Portable, I can do part-time, I can do it whenever I want.
They're small, easy to ship, no regulation, no registration, and the dollar numbers can be anywhere from $100 to $100,000.
The return on that was pretty big, 35% ROI.
And I ended up selling that watch for $9,900.
Making $1,500 on a $3,000 watch was mind-blowing.
The course progression has gotten me into using watches as an investment class. Buying higher-end pieces, hanging on to them, watching them appreciate in value.
Really just take me out of this consumerism mindset, more to this mindset of keeping your wealth while enjoying the item.
I became a firm believer in getting investments that I can actually enjoy, not just sit in the closet somewhere.
I've told you in the past, my goal is to do as little as possible and make as much as possible. It really does not take much of my time at all.
You're giving us the information that's teaching us how to work with everything.
I could not have imagined that this is how it's going to be. I mean, the experience is, it's excellent.
It's something crazy. You tell that to somebody and they won't believe it. Until you experience it and you do it and you tell them it's true. There's thousands, even millions of watches that there's plenty of money to be made.
You see all these success stories. How many more do you need? Everybody's got a nicer car. Everyone's got a nicer watch. Everyone has more money in their bank account. Everyone's going on trips with their family, taking care of their wives, taking care of their kids. If you got doubt, like have doubt. Cool, more room for us, right? But like, There's too many case stories now, there's too many successes. PJ's built way too great of a community. The tools have ever adapted. I mean, 100K Club, right, is that much faster. I mean, you just got to get started.
Watch Trading Academy. Learn how to buy, sell, trade, and invest in luxury timepieces